Ms. Hany Soh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In preparations for today's speech, I have engaged in a series of dialogue sessions, both formal and informal ones, involving young PAP activists, climate change advocates, green living community leaders, and my Woodgrove residents. I wish to take this opportunity to thank them for their active participation and their enthusiasm in advocating for a greener society. In these dialogue sessions, a common theme was identified, which was similar to what members of this House who have spoken ahead of me have shared in this House, being the recognition of that climate change is a pressing issue. We have all, in some way, began to feel that the impact it has caused to our environment in recent years, and that there's a need for us to play a part in combating climate change. While acknowledging the issue is a hopeful first step, the question remains, have we done enough? It's easy to say, we can and we must do more. But are we simply just expecting to rely on our government to roll out more policies and initiatives while trusting business organizations to do their part in reducing carbon emissions? The purpose of my PAP MP's colleagues who have put up this motion today with me is that we are looking upon to explore what are the actual actions, taking into account the local context that we can do, bearing in mind the importance of three-piece collaborations together to combat climate change as a nation. In Woodgrove, we have a GEL mission, where G pertains to green living initiatives. We believe that as a community, we can do our part to combat climate change, beginning with a re-examination of our current lifestyle habits. Many residents have remarked that there is a need to increase awareness and the keenness to go green, as the present efforts in our day-to-day water, waste and energy-saving actions are somewhat lacking due to the lack of understanding and the passion for doing so. Take the blue recycle bins, for example. Meant for depositing recyclable items, such as cupboards and bottles and glasses, they are more often than not misused as common rubbish bins instead, usually due to the convenience of irresponsible dumping or a lack of proper recycling knowledge. All you need is one person to discard items containing food residue in them to cause the entire contents of the blue recycle bins to be contaminated and wastefully discarded. Mr. Speaker, I believe that if we are to truly encourage the green living, we should aim to make sustainability a core component of our lifestyle. I must also emphasize that in order to make this a reality, as what I've emphasized earlier, we should collectively and continuously involve the efforts of our three Ps: people, private, and public sectors. In other words, this will require a close mutual cooperation between the government, organizations, and the community. Organizations would, of course, include corporates, companies, VWOs, and NGOs. While the government and private sectors can instead sweeping policies and provide the expertise of financial means to promote sustainability, the community also plays a vital role by getting together and through ground-up initiatives, encourage one another at a grassroots level. The dialogue sessions that I've held with my residents in Woodgrove have left me optimistic and inspired for our future, as I discovered that many of them are willing to step up and offer their ideas to promote this cause. For example, a number of my Woodgrove residents like Mr. Fu and Madam SS have commented that while they can understand why plastic bags may still be essential in Singapore, for example, for disposing of food waste through the garbage chute, they are convinced that Singaporeans can be encouraged to develop a habit of using their own recyclable bags or reusable bags for shopping and refusing to take more plastic bags more than they need. Suggestions by other Woodgrove residents also included: 1. Setting up more active recycling points within our community, partnering with Northwest CDCs and organizations such as Chiji Singapore, where eco-awareness and proper recycling tips can be shared with our residents. 2. Setting up a repair center in the residents' community centers, working with partners such as Repair Kopitiam. Under this initiative, we can collect rusted and abandoned bicycles lying around the void decks of our neighborhood and send them to the repair center for refurbishments. Once restored, they can be donated to needy children within our community for their further use. Another of the more innovative suggestions I have received revolved around the use of technology to encourage habits that promote sustainable living. Wilson, another of my Woodgrove residents, has shared with me that Health 365 app has proven to be popular amongst him and his peers in promoting healthy lifestyle, encouraging more people to stay active through recording progressions and reward-based incentives. As this may prove to be helpful in terms of promoting sustainable living, Woodgrove will be collaborating with the Singapore Institute of Building Limited, SIBL, and applying for our SG Eco Fund to explore the possibility of developing such an app where residents can interact and pick up green advocate skills virtually. We also intend to explore ways to incorporate features such as carbon footprint calculator, which would enable residents to key in and measure relevant data points, including their utilities consumptions, mode of transportations, time taken to commutes, food consumption, sources of productions, and the number of items and weightages of items which they have recycled. If successful, this Go Green app will raise greater awareness on environmental issues relating to waste, water, and energy resources, while encouraging our community to collectively shift to an eco-friendly lifestyle through app-based education and gamifications. Tapping on the expertise of SIBL and other climate change VWOs, NGOs, more in-person workshops will also be taking place in the CC, RCs, and even the private estates in Woodgrove, allowing our residents to access to more hands-on learning experiences through events such as active recycling, upcycling of old abandoned items, and exchange of pre-loved items in flea markets. Such activities like this will enable more residents to become the green advocates of our community. In summary, I would use the alphabets A, B, and C to describe the ongoing and upcoming initiatives which Woodgrove will be implementing in playing our part against climate change as a community. A, for acceleration. We are stepping up on the actions which will be introduced in our community, such as building more community gardens, setting up more active recycling points, and training more green advocates. B, for bolder initiatives, exploring and trying out new methods to increase sustainability awareness. This will include creating a mobile applications, as what I've shared earlier to the House, and encouraging residents to start embracing not just the existing 3 Rs, but the additional 2 Rs, refuse and repair as well. C, for collaborations and community-centric involvement. The initiatives that we execute as a community to raise more awareness on environmental issues will not be complete without the support of our government agencies and private organizations, as well as our community partners, like the schools, which Nadia has shared earlier. We look forward to remaining engaged with them and to deepening our ties together. Singapore has proven to the world that our government and people are willing to work together and make sweeping changes for the benefit of our society. Most recently, we can see that from our way in combating the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm confident that we can harness the same strength and unity to build a green community and lead the fight against climate change for the better well-being of our future generations. In Mandarin, please, for my conclusion, Mr. Speaker. 议长先生，总的来说，我会用3加来形容我们林景社区接下来将如何的对抗气候变后所尽的一分力。一，我们要加速，我们会加快建造及设立在社区所需要来应对气候变化的结构，例如建造更多的社区菜园，设立更多再循环收集站等，来鼓励我们的居民踊跃参与。2，加强，我们将勇于大胆地尝试之前不曾推行过的计划，包括设计手机应用程序，以教育更多的居民如何为保护环境出一份力，例如拒绝使用会破坏环境的物品及尽可能的维修物品，减少浪费。3，加入，在鼓励更多居民参与我们社区计划，为保护环境出一份力时，我们也明白到，如果没有政府机构、私人企业及社区伙伴的协力支持，在对抗气候变化的这条路上，或许我们会力不从心。因此，我们在社区所举办的活动，将继续的邀请他们一同筹备、一同支持。这么多年来，我们的政府和人民上下一心，紧密合作，为人民的扶持而努力。我国近期如何齐心对抗冠状疫情，就是个很好的例子。我有信心，我们能够发挥相同的力量，团结一致，对抗气候的转变，让我们的下一代拥有更美好的绿色未来。谢谢。